the story of Sayyidina Adam, the foundational story of humankind, and how Iblis refused to acknowledge his leadership, acknowledge the honor God had given him. So God says to him, what prevented you from bowing down to what I have created with both my hands? So that specification from God means a lot. خلقت بيدي. I created with both my hands. استكبرت أم كنت من العالين. Do you think you are among the great ones or you are among the high ones? استكبرت أم كنت من العالين. So that God created Adam with both his hands. خلقت بيدي. God has given Adam everything in his hand. He made Adam to inherit everything is created. So none of what his creations have been honored with being created with both hands of God, except Adam. So for that, that's the concept of bashariya, being a bashar, because bashar comes from bashara, yubashir, something that you handle with your body. That's what you call mubashara, and being directly handled with your body, with yourself, not through a medium. Because the rest of creation, God said to them, God created them with His word. Be and they become. But in case of Adam, He created him with His own hands. He personally engaged in the creation of Adam alayhi salam. So, Bashariya, that's what the Bashariya comes from. إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ يُوحَى إِلَيَّ. I'm a Bashar. So those are when God addresses human beings with different names, different words. Sometimes Bani Adam, Ya Bani Adam. Sometimes Ya Ayyuhal Insan. Sometimes you call them Bashar. So all these have nuances in terms of the creation of the human being. So when he calls him Bashar, is the focus on the human being and his fitra, being in your sound nature, the way God created you. And that's the only in that state that he will communicate to you. Wahy. Basharun yuha. So the word Bashar. Al-Bashariya and Wahy. Yuha ilayya. Annama ilahukum ilahum wahid. So that is the end of Surah Saad. And Zumar continues the theme of Tawheed, the theme of the creation of the human being and the creation of the universe. Then God talks about the three darknesses in which human is created. يَخْلُقُ فِي بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ خَلْقًا مِنْ بَعْدِ خَلْقٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتٍ ثَلَاثٍ. He creates you in the womb of your mothers in three darknesses, creation after creation. So three darknesses. Those are the three darknesses. First darkness in your liquid state. The second darkness in the blood state. And third darkness in the flesh state. And then even after the end of the third darkness, then the spirit is blown into you. Then you become now body and soul together. So of the three darknesses. And in the whole, the universe also is created the same way in three darknesses, not just human being. Alhamdulillah, alladhi khalaqa as-samawati wal-arda wa ja'ala adh-dhulumati wan-nur. We discussed that in the earlier surahs. Creation, darkness, light. So existence is made of these three things. Creation, darkness, light. So creation passes through darkness and then should end up in light. But some of them don't make it through. They come through darkness and they stuck in the darkness. They're lost in the darkness. They don't make it to light. Yeah. But that's how it is set up. Creation, darkness, eventually light. Allahu waliyyu alladhina amanu yukhrijuhum min adh-dhulumati ila an-nur. Allah is the ally of those who have Iman. So those who have Iman, He'll bring them from darknesses into light. I mean, while they are in the darkness, He give them nur of the light of Iman that guides them through darkness until they eventually enter into the zone of light. Once we enter the zone of light, don't need that individual light. You are now in the light. But light leads you to light. Yahdillahu li nurihi man yasha. So that's the creation, and the darkness is, and then the light. So there's that only three domains that in existence: domain of creation, domain of darkness, domain of light. There's the beings that are in the darkness. There are beings of the light, and the human beings are in both. Some human beings are in the light. Those who have Iman and believe in Allah and His words, and the 6 items of faith, and those who don't. So anyway, that's the theme carries on in Surah Az-Zumar for the most part, until again at the end, light and darkness, Jannah and Jahannam, because Jahannam is an extension of that dhulumat, that darkness, and Jannah is an extension of light. So you end up either Jannah in light or Jahannam in darkness. And that leads to Surah Ghafir. Again, we have the story of Sayyidina Musa in particular, and he's again another instance of struggle between people who want light and people who want darkness. That struggle, of course, is an eternal struggle. Jundul Nur or Jundul Dhalam, the army of light, the army of darkness. They are continuously in struggling. So sometimes darkness seems to overcome, but not for long. Then light comes back stronger than ever, and then takes over darkness. And gradually again, darkness begins to grow. So again, with human history is instances of that. Anyway, so the theme continues in the story of Sayyidina Musa and Fir'aun, and the ending up in the eventual perish of Pharaoh, and the triumph of Sayyidina Musa and those who are with him. So then the surah, Ghafir, continues with that theme. Sayyidina Yusuf is mentioned passingly in the context, one of the few places in the Quran, besides Surah Yusuf, which is kind of dedicated to only his story from beginning to end. He's mentioned here in this Surah Ghafir. Says that the Egyptian who believed and was calling his people to faith, he said, Yusuf came with clear signs. So that means by the time of Sayyidina Musa, people still remember Sayyidina Yusuf, and his mission is calling people to Tawheed. That's what he's saying, this man is saying. فَمَا زِلْتُمْ فِي الشَّكِّ مِمَّا جَاءَكُمْ بِهِ حَتَّى إِذَا هَلَكَ. And he still kept to have doubt in what Yusuf, the signs that he showed you, until he passed away. And he said that God will not raise any more messenger after him. That's it, Musa came. Anyway, that is the main theme of the surah, and then it ends with, at the end of the surah, God states that there are messengers who we know and whose story have been mentioned in the Quran. There are many. Those who are not mentioned in the Quran are more than those who are mentioned. Those who are mentioned are those who are relevant to us, because those stories has direct impact on us and who people of today know about mainly, either through the Old Testament or the Gospel and so forth. So those are many the messengers mentioned. But those who are not relevant to our human being now, those are not mentioned, and there are more, because there are many messengers God has sent since the beginning. There's a lot of them. The number of the prophets that I mentioned is a suggestion. It's not something directly from Quran or Sunnah. About 124,000. This is word of righteous people. We don't know for sure, but definitely it could be in hundreds of thousands since the beginning of human history till now. In a nutshell, those are the main themes of these surahs. Inshallah, we'll continue with the Hawamim beginning tomorrow.